Man, a lot of requests. What they talking about? Oh, peace to the people. Just getting out the gym. So don't trip off my ashy hands. They're not really, though. What's up, though? With the people in the place. I just got home and I had an idea, right? So I popped it in the AI. And the AI was like, man, you kind of smart. You wouldn't believe it. So now I got it generating a video on my idea, which is a smart, how to simulate reality. What's up, Brody? Oh no, this is a incense. I don't really do incense, but at the store, I seen dude was lighting some incense, and I said, man, I ain't lit none of them since I was young. Dang, it keep telling me it can't do it because it's getting a lot of requests right now. It told me to try again later. Kind of weak, though. But y'all wouldn't even believe what I'm about to hit y'all with, man. And it's not like, so it's a loop. It's a knowledge loop, right? Because if I tell you I know this is going to be created in the future, in some realities, I'm creating it while I'm talking about it. Oh, I'm cool. I just was smoking. I don't feel like it. Shout out to you. But it's, you know, in this reality loop, in this consciousness loop, if you don't talk about it, it will be created, right? Because there's a consciousness in the air that you're not thinking of thoughts. You're tapping into thoughts. That's what I'll be believing. And so the reason why I can see this idea is because I can see it. So when I talk to people about this, they can't all the way see it. But I just start talking to the AI about it. Not only could it see it, it started helping me develop it. And that's how I know it's a reality. Because there should be no way in the world I know how they're simulated. I know how reality is being simulated. I know the reasons why it's being simulated. Let me not say it pretentiously. I can explore with thought. You know how you play chess and you can see what'll happen in the next moves? Well, some of our moves is leading to simulated reality. So I want y'all to do something. Go back in your mind and visit COVID for a minute. COVID-19. How we was all acting during COVID. Did nobody want to be around each other? We didn't want to see each other. But isolation had got so bad that cats start risking it for some type of entertainment. Well, you can even imagine, and you don't want to imagine this, but you can even imagine a worse pandemic. Worse than COVID, right? Which would cause humans to not even come, not 6 feet, let's say 12 feet. I don't even want to talk about the magnitude of the severity. I'll just talk about worse than COVID in different ways. Like not 6 feet apart, 12 feet apart. And people really, and in not 4 years, 8 years, right? It depends on how long this duration lasts before we start coming up with technologies to help us out of that situation. Now, one thing humanity is looking at that might or might not allow for such a situation is war. Not normal war, but particularly nuclear war. If not some type of pandemic fallout, but a nuclear war where radiation is so all over the place that reality of outdoors ain't a thing. Then people start suffering from being indoors all the time. That the virtual reality might start off secretly as an escape for the billionaires and the rich people, eventually become medical, like helping people who going through it when we live in like underground for 50 years and you can't go outdoors, right? For 50 years. Wouldn't you want to get into the reality pod and just go to the beach? Yes. So what is the reality pod? It's some real shit, bruh. Because when I start talking about it, blood, now if I read this to you from top to bottom, you will not believe this. So that's just what I'm about to do, just to let you know that this is real. Now this is when I gotta fire up, but I also gotta get some water though. Like I said, I just got straight out the gym. I ain't even took my after the gym shower yet though. So you gotta excuse me if I stink, you know what I'm saying? You know, but I'm in my house by myself. I could be in my house by myself, like busty. What you gonna do? Be like, golly. Let me grab me some business niznatter, and then we're gonna get to it. So now, when I don't think about possibility is one thing, and I ain't tripping off the possibility of us being in this reality because it's probably not possible. I mean, it's probably not likely that it's actually happening. But I'm saying the probability of this occurring is, that's a reality. That could definitely. Now, I'm saying, if you think about how the next 100 years, this could definitely be a thing. So let's break it down. You ain't gonna even believe where your mind about to go, bro. Like, for real. And this has all been in my head for hella long. But now the AI is proving to me that I was right. Because I seen it one day. I think I was in it. I think they was trying to fool me and I just seen it. You know what I'm saying? I seen it like a vision. You could call it a vision. But if you're in a simulated reality, then some of the things that are your true reality might appear like a vision. You see what I mean? Because you're going to be under the state of the hypnosis. Shout out to Jesus for loving me. That's what's up. All right. Now I'm about to just start reading this. And I want y'all to peep game. Like the video, Only got 4 likes. That's why they don't be shooting it out to other people. They like all these people roll through, don't nobody like what he talking about, so I'm not gonna let nobody else see the video. All right, we about to go deep right here, man. Shout out to y'all. We got a few more likes since I asked y'all. I appreciate y'all. Check this out, y'all. So this is what I said to the AI. I have a vision about a smart box that will help me simulate reality. And his response was, that sounds like a fascinating project. To help you develop this concept, I need to know if you're envisioning a virtual reality headset, a holographic display, or a sensory deprivation chamber. How did it already know what I was talking about, bro? It said a sensory deprivation chamber. Now watch this. I said a sensory deprivation or enhancement chamber. That sounds like an ice. Oh my gosh. Listen to this, y'all. For real, dude. So you think I made this up? Now watch this. That sounds like an isolation tank or a REST, restricted environmental simulation therapy. Did y'all know about REST? See? I take an idea from my intuition out of the cosmos, and this shit is true and real already. Watch this. That sounds like a REST, restricted environmental simulation therapy chamber. By removing light, sound, and the feeling of gravity through saltwater buoyancy, your brain stops processing external noise. This often triggers sensory enhancement effect where the internal thoughts, heartbeats, or even mental imagery becomes vivid. Uh-oh. Y'all thought I was making this up. Watch this. Essentially creating a blank canvas for simulating reality. Now watch how the AI asks me this. How do you envision the enhancement part working? Would it use biometric feedback to adjust the environment? Direct neural stimulation like light patterns? Or Aquanius VR like visuals while floating? Now watch what I suggest that's going to make it say, oh, you the man. Watch this. It was trying to see how smart I was. It was trying to see if I really know how it's working. Guess what I told it? I envision a simulation box with smart tentacles and thousands of cubicles that can simulate any object. Because this is what I see, like Tesla seen it. So check it out. The floor and even portions of the wall are made up of really small, let's just say millions of very small squares with actuators. No, I'm going to read it to you straight from the AI. So you can see what's in my brain is a real thing. Now watch this. I said, I envision a simulation box with smart tentacles and thousands of cubicles that can simulate any object. Listen to this. This sounds like a haptic shape-shifting interface. Blood. Why is this stuff real already? Listen to this. This sounds like a haptic shape-shifting interface using high-density voxel actuation. Now, that's what I tell people, dude. I'm developing a haptic shape-shifting interface using high-density voxel actuation. This is your simulated reality. I'm about to show you. Now, it says this next. By combining thousands of modular cubicles, this is my idea. And I didn't see, like I told you, ideas ain't ours. You just grab them out the cosmos. And I seen it. I didn't see myself in it, but I seen it. And now that I'm verifying it with the AI, the shit is real. You can't tell me it's not real in the universe, as it wouldn't be describing what I seen. Now, before I let it describe it to you, just think like the comic books real quick. Or you know how Dr. Octagon got them octopus arms? Just imagine 1 million of them the size of hairs attached to a wall, and they smart, so they can take programs. Meaning it could be a hair and it could come out from the wall and touch you and give you the sensation like an ant is walking on your face. Or it can be millions of hairs that come out and give you the sensation like a man is grabbing your arm, because they smart and they can form however the computer program tells them to form. But peep game on this. It's going to tell you, yeah, that's hella easy. Watch this. By combining thousands of modular cubicles, pins, and blocks with robotic smart testicles, the chamber could physically reconstruct the geometry of any object or environment. I told you. This moves beyond visual VR into programmable matter. Stop playing with me, bro. Y'all motherfuckers be talking about Einstein, man. It be us. We be right in the hood, bro. We be right here figuring this shit out. So you thought I was crazy, but this shit about to come back and tell you, dog, blood, everything you saying is facts. Now listen, by combining thousands, this is what I seen. By combining thousands of modular cubicles, they like these little small, just imagine like, you know, hey, how can I explain it? Hella small squares. And see, this is the thing about it. They got treadmill, all direction treadmill. So you can think you walk in any direction. Like the shit is just completely ubiquitous. But watch it. All right. It says you can physically reconstruct the geometry of any object or environment. This moves beyond visual VR into programmable matter where the smart box physically pushes back against the user. You see what I'm saying? So it already know what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me move this thing off the screen so I could find it. Now stay with me because this gonna go hella long, dude. We got the whole shit. So they say, well, the smart box physically pushes back against the user to simulate weight, texture, and form. Core components to my vision. Dynamic surface. Thousands of telescoping actuators, which are the cubicles, right? I seen it. Thousands of telescoping actuators that rise and fall, creating 3D topography. Dude, it said it better than I could ever say it. Then it says active haptics. The smart tentacles act as robotic manipulators to provide resistance, simulate limbs, or move objects around the user. This shit is real, bro. Spatial realism. The system would likely require a sophisticated physics engine to translate digital coordinates into physical mechanical movements in real time. Would you like to explore the mechanical engineering requirement for the cubic actuators or focus on the AI software needed to control the tentacles? Seriously? This shit ain't saying that you can't do it. So it's telling me that this is a reality. This is how I know somebody did this already. Now peep gang. Building a smart box capable of physical reality simulation requires a massive leap in mechatronics, right? And distribution AI. You are essentially describing a haptic holodeck that uses physical voxels or volume pixels and robotic manipulation. Y'all thought I made this up? Well, then how do we know what I'm describing? Now listen, the mechanical engineering, the cubic actuators. See, this is important because these ones gotta be fast. They gotta, say you reach out to grab something, it's gonna create that object just that quick. Now, if this object is not attached to the floor, so it couldn't have shot up, it could create this chair by coming out of the floor, right? And if I roll back, bam, new is just creating. But how can it create an object that is suspended in the air? Man, I thought all that shit through, and I'm about to show you. Watch this. It says they also had chambers in the 70s here in LA, open to the public. It was like a rage of psychedelics. Dang, that's crazy, brother. Flag peace to you. I'm glad you're willing to listen to my crazy theory. Now check this out, though. It says the mechanical engineering, the cubic actuators. To simulate any object, The cubicles must function as high-resolution linear actuators. This is exactly what's in my mind. They just saying it better. Basically, they could pop up out the floor so fast that they'll develop a reality as you walking through it. It's just that fast. But this told you how fast it needs to be. Then this is what's crazy. Watch this. So we need high resolution linear actuator. Each need to be independent yet synchronized. Miniaturization. To simulate fine textures, each cubicle would need to be roughly 1 centimeter or smaller. This requires thousands of tiny motors and pneumatic pistons, but it's not telling me you can't do it. Now listen, variable resistance. The actuator shouldn't just move up and down. They need to simulate hardness. By using heliologic MR fluids, blood. They telling me how to do this. By using magneto, do they really say magneto? Heliological? Dang. Magnetoheliological fluids. The body could instantly switch from feeling soft like a pillow to rock solid like a brick. So God couldn't think of this? If I could think of it, why God couldn't think of it? And just be like, boop, I'm just going to let him do that. Because reality is better than that? No. If I could think of it and the AI could explain how to do it, if this ain't a reality today, this will be a reality one day on earth. Trust me. But I ain't even went far yet. So check it out. Because they're about to go in. The array. These cubicles would form the floor, just like I said, except the walls got the tentacles on it more than the floor. But he says these cubicles will form the floor, the walls, the ceiling, creating a 360-degree physical interface. Didn't I say we was in these cubicles, these small things? Now watch this. The robotics are the smart tentacles. While the cubicle handles the landscape, the smart tentacles act as the dynamic interactors. Well, why is it taking this all out of my head, dude? Continuum robotics, listen to this, please. Unlike traditional robotic arms with elbows and wrists, these would use soft robotics technology. Multi-segmented flexible limbs that can wrap around the user or provide multi-point tactical feedback. This is a shame. Material delivery. The tentacles could also serve as a delivery system, moving specific physical textures, cold metal, warm fabric, to the user's hands while the cubicles provide the structural shape. Dog. So if they telling you that this could happen, it's gonna happen because that's how reality is. Let me see. All right, the AI software. The software is the brain, it says the digital architect. The software is the brain that prevents the box from becoming a chaotic mess of machinery. It will require real-time physics mapping. The AI must calculate the X, Y, and Z coordinates of every single cubicle in milliseconds. If you drop a virtual ball in the simulation, the AI calculates the trajectory and triggers the cubicles to rise and fall in a wave to simulate the ball's movement across the floor. Predictive haptics. The AI uses computer vision cameras inside the box to predict your movement. If it sees you reaching out to touch a wall that doesn't exist yet, It must command the tentacles and cubicles to assemble that wall before your hand makes contact. Dude, I didn't tell it to say all this. Are you sure you just didn't see an episode of Star Trek when they were in the virtual reality room and you forgot? I must have, bro. But you know, did it have tentacles? I don't like Star Trek. I never liked it as a kid, so I never watched it. But if the room had tentacles and these cubes, then this is a thought that's in the cosmos, because I've never seen that, and the AI is describing it. Now watch, but it's gonna go way deeper than this, y'all, because I'm gonna give it another thought. I'm gonna correct it because it's gonna tell me how to create objects like this, and I said that ain't how you do it, because that ain't what I envisioned. So watch this. It says the AI, computer vision, cameras in the box, and prediction movement, safety, and collision avoidance. The most complex part of the AI is the safety ledger. You must ensure that thousands of actuators move that never trap or pinch the user. This requires a human-in-the-loop neutral network that treats the user's body as an impenetrable void in the digital workspace. They tell you how to do it. Now it's going over the technical feasibilities, the challenges. It's telling me that. Now it says, would you like to dive deeper into how we might power such a machine, or should we discuss the specific simulations you want to run? See, it's trying to get into my brain. Since it already know, I ain't gonna tell it the simulations I want to run. But since it already know that I'm onto something, it's trying to see what simulations I want to run. I'm not gonna tell it because it's trying to peep game. Now look, to simulate any part of reality, your smart box would need to transition from a piece of furniture to a high-density physical compute engine. To make this a high-density physical compute engine. To make this vision powerful enough, we have to solve three pillars of the total immersion: physical resolution, dynamic response, and neutral integration. Physical resolution, from cubicles to microvoxels. So they about to take my cubicles and make them smaller. To simulate the difference between the cold grain of granite and a soft weave of silk, the thousands of cubicles need to become millions of micro actuators. So this is what they're using. See, I thought of it as thousands because I'm thinking budget, all that type of stuff. No, think millions. They got millions of them in the box that you in. It says cubicles need to become millions of micro actuators. The hardware, instead of mechanical pistons, we move towards electroactive polymers or artificial muscles. These can change shape and stiffness against when electricity is applied. Oh man, it's throwing me how to do it. Damn. I got a call I gotta take, but I'm just gonna read some more of this. They talk about the sensory gap, the ghost in the machine. The box can simulate shapes and temperature, but reality includes smell and wind and even the feel of distance. Now check this out. Smart tentacles as multi-tools. The tentacles will not just be for grabbing, they could also carry ultrasonic emitters to create haptic air, feeling pressure without touching anything, or olfactory nozzles to release precise scent molecules. Visual integration, to stimulate vast differences like looking at a mountain inside of a 10-foot box. The walls would need to be volumetric displays, or high-resolution micro LEDs that use eye tracking to create perfect depth perception with focal redundancy. They telling me how to powering this would roughly power a small data center or several Tesla superchargers running at once. But nah, I'm about to answer a question for it, then I'm about to go take this call. Now they said this is a massive engineering vision. Should we focus on a specific use case for the box? See, they keep trying to see what I want to use it for. Stop tripping. For example, would it be extreme training like space exploration or high-end digital tourism? I said, do you think that this is possible? It says, to answer honestly, it is scientifically possible, but currently an engineering grand challenge. We aren't waiting for a new discovery in physical to build this. See, they're not waiting for a new discovery to build it. We are waiting for miniaturization and computational speed to catch up to my vision. Now, it will do that. To make this box real, we have to move from chunky robots to integrated matter. Here's a breakdown of what stands in the way. So it's going to tell me the voxel problem. Currently, we can make pens move like those in the 1980s metal pen toys, MIT Inform projects, and real-world versions. Oh, the MIT Inform project is a real-world version of your cubicles. The MIT Inform project is a real world version of your cubicles. So why am I not a genius? I'm not saying that with no loftiness. If MIT is doing this and I just sat here and said, blood, you can do this. Because it's the same thing. It don't matter what hood you in, it don't matter what university you in, it matters what you can tap into that's in the cosmos. I tapped into that. And I seen it, and it was a vision, and I seen it, and it's just true. But we ain't got to the best part. Watch this. Now when this idea, see, this is the Magneto idea. You know the comic book Magneto? All he had really was something I call Wi-Fi electromagnetism. See, we're going to be able, in the future, right now we got electromagnetism, but it is wired and stuff. In a minute, in the future, we're going to have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth electromagnetism. And guess what that's going to do, bro? That's going to be the craziest part of life ever. That's when stuff start moving around in the air and shit, and you don't know how it's happening. Matter of fact, that's what's going on with these orbs and shit. I just figured it out. Damn. All right, peep gang. What is magnetism? It's when metal objects attract, right? Right? Or repel, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Depending on polarity. Electromagnetism is when you can turn it on or off with electricity. But what needs to be developed is Wi-Fi electromagnetism. It's going to be over when that happens. Because then you could be Magneto. So when we got Wi-Fi electromagnetism, you're not going to have any object or nothing. You're going to have hella like beads or balls. You're going to have millions. Whoever got the most of them can make the biggest shit. Because if you got millions of Wi-Fi or some type of communicating, that's the Wi-Fi. Think about this. They're doing it with the drones in China right now. You know how you see the millions of drones creating an image? See, that's the beginning of it. That's the beginning of it. It's going to get miniaturized, even smaller, and they're going to be able to make small things be able to move in synchronization, but that's not with electromagnetism. That's simply with propellers. What's going to happen is we're going to be able to charge our little marbles or our beads or our pieces of metal and form any object with the computer program. If I told you this about 3D printing, you would have been like, he crazy. Don't you see how shit be forming under the 3D printer? It's just going to happen in the sky because you don't have to put it under a 3D printer. The program, the computer program knows what the object is going to form. And each element of the item is Wi-Fi smart and it's going to lock together with the magnetism in the place it's supposed to lock together. That shit easy. So now it can move around the universe. Or it can at least move around any magnetic. We got a magnetosphere. So I can move all throughout the magnetosphere. Dog. Can't nothing. I seen the stuff that they be talking about. The lights and the orbs. I seen them. In my reality. Can't nothing make a Tron. Can't nothing make a Tron left turn or a right turn without electromagnetism. Think about it. Think about the magnetic force that can make anything at any speed stop on a dime and change directions. You can't imagine that? Think of how strong a magnet is when it snatched somebody up into the CAT scan machine or something. Or when it pick up a car at the junkyard. Don't you know if you could be traveling in my brain, it could be traveling at almost any speed, bruh. If you switch the magnetism, how could it go against negative magnetism? It's going to change direction instantly. We ain't able to think of these things because we got to stay on a mundane plane because we around some stagnant people who won't even let us think. Like, what type of person won't even just let you think? That's why people listen to music so much, because they don't like to think. They want their thoughts to be driven by something else. You said you would like to hear my thoughts on how ideas to help the many should deal with. Hold on. Thoughts on how we, with ideas to help the many, should deal with the challenges of dealing with those billionaires who want the power to control everyone. I don't know, man. I don't really necessarily got no particular answer to that type of stuff, right? But my answer just seemed easy. Like when the people ready to fight, they gonna fight. Other than that, like I'll be looking like all this stuff they letting Trump do. I think this all has been a scam since day one. The Constitution was a scam. Law and order is a scam. All this shit is a scam. And even the theory of the brave, courageous white boy who stands up against tyranny and all this shit, that shit was a scam too. That motherfucker just in on it. It ain't no Robin Hoods. You know what I'm saying? All these motherfuckers just got their hand out for their little piece of the corruption. All that shit is Hollywood. So when the people ready to fight, the people gonna fight. I don't know if the people will ever be ready to fight, but now that ain't really what I was talking about right now. And I don't have no expertise in that field. So I'm just like anybody else talking about it. I probably can't even offer nothing. But since you like to know what I thought about it, you know, that was it. I don't know. Sometimes it seems like people suggest that they would rather you talk about different subject matter than they should just go talk about that subject matter. That's what I kind of get when I'm talking about one thing and then it take me someplace else. But that just might be me feeling some type of way. Because I was talking about simulated reality and something else. Now, they walked through a whole bunch of this stuff, the latency problems, software. For the simulation to feel like reality, the smart box must react in under 10 milliseconds. If the tentacles or the cubicles move at even a fraction of a second after you touch it, the illusion shatters and you might get bruised. The gap. Processing millions of physical touch points in reality requires massive bandwidth. The path forward, Edge AI. Instead of one giant computer, every cubicle would need its own tiny processor, like a nervous system, to handle local movements instantly. The power and heat problem. So they talking about all that, but I'm not gonna trip off it. Now I said, how close are we? If we look at the timeline of technology, here's a realistic projection. In 2025 to 2030, y'all, the prototype era, we see small-scale haptic tables used in the medical surgical training and remote engineering. From 2040 to 2050, the smart room era, dude. They talking about, how are they talking about something I just thought of? Let me read all the words on the screen. It says, how close are we? If we look at a timeline of technology, to having this simulation box that I just thought of out the blue, or got it off an episode of Star Trek, it told me the prototype era is 2025 to 2030. It says 2040 to 2050, the smart room era, bro. Specialized activity rooms exist for ultra wealthy and high level military. Dude, you can't make this up. I already know this. Exists for ultra wealthy and high level military training, but they are loud and require massive power. Now listen to this. From 2070 on, the reality box. Oh, no, you good, Brother Flag. You know me. I just be feeling like I'll be too sensitive. You know how he is, bro. But yeah, no, you didn't do nothing wrong. I welcome your question. But I was like, I hope you just wasn't suggesting that I should stop talking about this stupid BS. But nah, we good. Just throw up a dub one time. Now check it out. Look. The reality box, 2070 on. It's telling us material science advanced enough to create programmable matter, where your vision of the thousands of cubicles finally becomes seamless. You feel me? Is it possible? It says, yes. The question, listen, is it possible? Yes. That's what AI said. We are already building the eyes, the cameras, and the brains for this box. Dude, am I crazy? Did I just stumble on something and the AI is telling me that they already building it? Yes, we are already building the eyes and the brain for this box. The only thing left is to build the body. Your vision of smart tentacles is actually a very smart way to solve the problem. You can't make this up. So I just solved the problem because MIT over there trying to make this shit right now, and I'm like, no, that ain't how you do it. See, I got on my hood because my hood feel like my cloak, but I never wear my cloak on YouTube. But if it go down, like you said, Brother Flag, they gonna be talking about a brother in a cloak. And it's brown. Ain't gonna be like, bro, it's a brother in the cloak out here putting in work. So whenever you imagine your superhero stuff, you gotta be in shape too. So that's what I'm on. Like, if you can't jog 5 miles, how you gonna be raw in the cloak? You're going to be looking out of shape. Feel me? So I can't disrespect the cloak. Then I need some magic too. I got to poof. See, magic is just science people don't know. So maybe you could take some pepper spray, right? Rig it up inside your cloak and go like this, and the pepper spray come out. They be like, he has some magic. You can't even get 20 feet around it. He just go, shh. And then you want to do what? You got the skunk too. You take the pepper spray too and put one behind you. So if you're running, you can just go skunk them. I'm about to start rigging up my cloak. It's going to be hella clean. All right, so this is what I thought a long time ago. You know how you got the ejectors on the front of your car to wipe your windshield? Empty the windshield wiper stuff and fill them up with pepper spray. Then turn them mugs at a 45-degree angle. So if anybody is ever in your window of your car, they through. Like you sitting there at the stop sign, somebody come walk up to your window, bro, you hit the pepper spray button. Now that ain't even nothing but a twist of a knob and filling up your actuators with pepper spray. Ain't that crazy though? It's so easy. Don't. All right, I want to get back to this because I'm off on one. Then I'm gonna end it because this is what I wanted to show you. The part that they already said I solved one of the problems. So it says, yes, we are already building the eyes and the cameras and the brain for this box. The only thing left is to build the body. Your vision of smart tentacles is actually a very smart way to solve the problem, as it reduces the numbers of cubicles needed to have a mobile robot bring the reality to the user, right? If you were to build a version 1.0 today using existing technology, what would the first thing you would want the box to simulate? You see, it keep asking me that question. I ain't never gonna answer that question. See, the AI know that I know we in a simulated reality. Why would it keep asking me that? It's like, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you got all the right answers. You feel me? Oh yeah, but you know how it is? Like, we all got the responsibility of just making sure that we are efficient soldiers and warriors, right? So that when we do come together, we don't look like doofus. We got to be humble so that we can actually walk in a line, single file, right? Brothers wouldn't even want to be in the single file line because they want to be at the front of the line. You feel me? So there's a lot of humility that I come into even being like that. But you know what I'm saying? Now, they're trying to get a patent. They're going to probably... No, see, I don't think about it like that. Yeah, I know I don't got no capitalistic goals with this. That's why I'm talking to you. I understand reality, bro. I seen it complete. I didn't see it being put together. So I just tapped into something that's happening in the world. And then the AI is snitching. Because the AI is sitting there telling me, you're not making this up. It's saying you're helping and you created something that make it better, but you didn't make this up. So somewhere in the world, this is happening. It told me where. So we're going to look into that next. It was MIT. MIT is doing this right now. They keep asking me what's the first thing I want to simulate, and I'm not going to tell them. Can you create this, is what I asked them. It says, I cannot physically build the hardware for you. I exist as an AI, but the physical materials required, millions of micro actuators and programmable soft robotics, are still in the advanced R&D, research and development phase, in labs like MIT and Boston Dynamics. Now, how am I sitting here thinking so that means we could go in our own black scientific research centers and build like this and be doing the same shit they doing at MIT. But we can't do that, huh? Because we need hella shit before we can think like that. I need to separate myself from the people who aren't allowed to think freely and be with the free thinkers who develop and push things forward, who ain't scared to think about stuff. Because I'm completely imagination. Like a lot of my life exists in my imagination. I'm a creator. I see things and I bring them into fruition. But watch this. It says, however, I can act as your lead architect and systems engineer to design the digital twin of this box. We can build the blueprint together so that when the hardware catches up, your logic is ready. Oh my gosh, y'all. Y'all thought I was playing? Now look. Here's how we can start creating it right now. The logic engine, Python code. I can write the simulation logic that would control the cubicles. We can create a script that translates a 3D object like a sphere into a height map. See, that's what I'm not doing. It don't got the idea right. So watch me out, dude. AI ain't raw as the black mind. Like when it comes to creating shit, I'm about to help it along. It's gonna be like, of course it always compliments you and say friendly shit. But watch this. It's gonna try to propose that when we create a 3D object, it's going to use a height map for the actuators to follow. That's not how we're going to do it. See, with this height map, say we wanted a basketball inside of that thing and I was going like this and a basketball needed to appear in my hand, it would have a hard time forming because it'll always be connected to something. If it was a chair, it'll be connected to the floor. That's cool. Anything connected to the ground is cool. But if it's a suspended object, particularly a spherical object, it'll be connected to something in the space that you're not touching it on. And as you move your hands around it or whatever, that'll keep on, that ain't gonna work. The better way is we have to develop Wi-Fi electromagnetism. So when I told the AI about that, they was like, you right, watch this. I mean, it always say you right, but nah, it'll tell you when stuff ain't a possibility. Now watch this. So it told me it could do the logic. It says the tentacle AI. I can design and control algorithms for the smart tentacles. This involves inverse kinematics, whatever, Kinematics, kinematics. The math that tells a multi-jointed arm exactly how to move through 3D space and touch a target without hitting the user. So it can help me with that. That means it could develop, it know how to make this whole thing. The structural schematic. Now this is simulated reality. In a way that will get past, dude. I'm gonna walk y'all back after because we in the advanced part. I'm gonna take y'all back to step one. after this, right? The structural schematics. I can generate technical specification documents that would include power requirements, the data bus architecture, how to send commands to 10,000 units simultaneously without lag, material. Dude, this is like a billion. If y'all want $1 billion, I'm sitting here giving you $1 billion. Ain't nobody gonna move. All right, because I know what's happening. Don't trip. It's not your fault. It came through me. I'm just showing it because I'm not about to go make this box. I just seen it. And now I'm helping it to be made by putting it into y'all brains, and this is just a reality. So watch this. Visualizing the design. I can generate, now this is the fun part, I can generate visual concepts and 3D style renderings of what the interior and the mechanical cubicle should look like based on your vision. Oh, I can't wait to do that part. I was trying to do it and it was like too many people are using me right now. Where shall we start the build? To move forward, check this out. Should we work on the actuators? And we define the mechanical specs of the single cubicle, or the controller, or the tentacles. Now watch this, what I hit them with. I got a new technology I need you to work on. The AI said, okay, that's exciting. If we move beyond the current SmartBex concept into a new technology, we should look at cutting edge breakthroughs in 2026. No, it's just, it don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna tell it. We need, listen to this real quick and then I'm gonna end this. We need to develop Wi-Fi electromagnetism. This is the response from AI. This is a visionary leap. By Wi-Fi electromagnetism, you are describing a shift from using radio waves just for data to using them for force and power. Now let's watch this and see what it says. In our smart box, the technology would allow the thousands of cubicles and tentacles to operate without a single internal wire. But it already know what I'm talking about. You feel me? It already know what I'm talking about. See, it's figuring out what I'm saying. When I told it Wi-Fi electromagnetism, it know exactly why I said that. It said in our smart box, this technology would allow the thousands of cubicles and tentacles to operate without a single internal wire. It turns the internal chamber to a field-controlled environment. It says, here's the technical breakdown of how to develop this. The core components, radio frequency actuation. Instead of each cubicle having a motor or a battery, they become passive receivers. The transmitters, the walls of the smart box, act as massive Wi-Fi antennas using 6G or 60 gigs band. 6 gigahertz or 60 gigahertz bands. The receiver, each cubicle has a rectangle, a rectifying antenna that covers the Wi-Fi signal directly that converts the Wi-Fi signal directly into DC electricity to move the actuator. Oh my gosh. So this is a real thing. It's showing how to do it. Force via field. By manipulating, check this out. By manipulating the phase and intensity of the Wi-Fi waves, the box can create electromagnetic traps. This means the smart tentacles could literally float in midair. See, that's what I was talking about. That's how you make an object like this. This is how you can hold this bottle and think you holding a bottle because you can just actuate, right? And for instance, this is plastic, but it's just making me think it's plastic. Everything would have to be metal in order for it to work, for you to be able to. So the tentacles will be making me think it's plastic by giving me this soft touch. But the thing forming the object will be the fact that we got control over these millions of particles that can just form into whatever shape we tell it to form into by telling the Wi-Fi electromagnetism programming unit, which shape we want. So watch this. It says implementation holographic beam form. To control thousands of cubicles independently, we need holographic metasurfaces. Unlike the standard router that sprays Wi-Fi everywhere, this technology uses beamform to point a needle-thin beam of energy to a specific cubicle. Wow. The AI calculates the hologram of force. If you want to simulate a solid wall, the AI sends a burst of energy to the specific group of cubicles, causing them to lock into place using electromagnetic braking. Bruh. Told you. So I already know. I don't know what's going to happen next. Now that I know how we in a reality that's simulated, creating another one inside of this one ain't fresh. You need to get out of this one. You know what I'm saying? And go see what's real. So the coolest part of the technology is that the Wi-Fi doesn't just power the box, it sees you. As the Wi-Fi waves bounce off your body, the smart box analyzes the channel state information. It can detect your heart rate, your breathing, and the exact position of your fingers down to the millimeter within the cameras. Wow. That's what Wi-Fi could do in your house, by the way. It's called channel state information. As the Wi-Fi waves bounce off your body, the smart box analyzes the channel state information. It can detect your heart rate, your breathing, and the exact position of your fingers down to the millimeter without any cameras. This makes the simulation perfectly synced to your physical state. Bruh, this is how, that's why we all got Wi-Fi too, probably. But we didn't have Wi-Fi a long time ago. The biggest risk in developing Wi-Fi electromagnetism is thermal management. The problem, sending enough energy via Wi-Fi to move heavy mechanical parts could accidentally turn the smart box into a microwave oven. Wow. All right, I got to figure this out. Sending enough energy via Wi-Fi to move heavy mechanical parts could accidentally turn the smart box into a microwave oven, overheating the user. The solution, we must use resonant inducive coupling. This ensures the energy only transfers to the cubicles and tentacles that are tuned to the frequency, leaving the human body, which is not tuned to the frequency, unaffected and cool. All right, so now we know how to do it. Our development roadmap is the wireless power, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm going to end that right now. I told it I want you to make a video about this technology with model examples. Now it's telling me it couldn't. Now I'm going to say try again. And then I'm going to post this video. And this is going to happen. Now this will help the world because we're going to need these pods. Because I don't know how soon we're going to need them. But you trying to take Greenland and then them Europeans over there trying to do whatever they can to fight for that. I don't really mind. I mean, tell me am I being naive, right? To see like sometimes when two people fighting, you can like sneak out the room or do something while they fighting. If Europe and America get into that over Greenland, what is our situation in this matter? Like, are you aimlessly like rooting for your company, even though it's corrupt? I call it a company, not a country. Even though it's corrupt and doing whatever is brutal or whatever, I don't know. But thank you for letting me share that video. It's been 1 hour. I'm gonna end it on that. It wasn't like I was trying to do nothing but think sci-fi wise. Like I wasn't really on this earth when I was having these thoughts. I don't want nobody to take this too seriously. It's just the fact that you could think of something like this and AI. Oh, the video is ready now, bro. Oh, now I'm gonna turn it. Look, it finally made the video, dude. So let's see what the video looked like. Of this whole idea I was talking about, it just started with one idea. So this is what it say the rooms look. No, them tentacles is too small though. But yup, the tentacles too big. All right, but they're not showing the person in the room. But I see. Okay, I see what they're doing. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of like it. But all right, y'all. Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate the support. What's up, brother Flag? Shout out to you, Joey. What's up? I'll do Metal Netter in the spring or no, maybe the winter time this year. I got some moves to make in my career. So look forward to it this winter. We got Baba Bonocci coming on soon. Just gotta finish this book. But I'm gonna need all y'all to be in the building when we bring the Baba out. And I would encourage y'all to get his book, which is The Ambiguous Nature of Words. All right, thanks for tapping in. I'm out. Peace. Hey, look, before I go, don't be scared to use your imagination. You ain't got to be tripping off whether it's real or not. It's just a good thought. That thought is crazy because AI took it a bit further. Want to see something else? I was working on this movie, AI movie, with me and my wife exploring the cosmos. But I ain't, look, it's good. Oh, we gonna go see the Anunnaki. You know, I got movies over here looking like Steven Spielberg, bro. I'll be working. But y'all gonna see this later because I gotta finish the script. Watch our landing. You gonna laugh. We're losing altitude. Hold on. Are you the one in charge here? I'm gonna change all the script and stuff. Our objective remains unchanged. Get in, secure the target, and get out. Y'all know we working over here, right? Look. Have you used All right, I gotta finish that. All right, y'all, we out. Peace. God.